So first, one of the key things about the purpose for our Industry 4.0 course, it's not simply the technology itself. The technology itself, it's available to anyone, right? You can literally go out and buy it. And there's also very good sources to find out what that technology does, right? The key is, how do you actually take that technology and how do I sequence it so that we start to get value right away? And I'm going to give you two examples. And it all goes back to this concept is when I have a large organization with a large asset, I have to keep it running. And it turns out that downtime, whether that be physical equipment or people waiting for something, is a tremendous loss for organizations. It also, not only do you use profits, you disappoint your customer because they don't get what they wanted on time. And so one of the things I work to help companies in is, what's the next layer of technology, just the simplest next layer so we can start seeing value immediately. And I've had several successes in this course. It's simply around vibration sensors. One of the things that we all know is before something breaks, it shakes, right? So just starting to put, don't make the full investment, just put sensors on your 10 or 20% of equipment that is causing you those problems, then start the full cycle of get people analyzing it and making it the corrections. And then you can see value in weeks. An example that I did go to a company that was starting to establish their programs, they put sensors on all 300 pieces of their equipment, right? And my first question is, why not just put it on the first 30? So they put it on the first 300, which is larger capital investment. They said, have we looked at the data yet? And I go, well, we're about to get there. We were busy putting in the 300 sensors. Okay, so I go, let's look at the data. And of course, and this is not surprising, 17% of the sensors that they'd installed were either not reading at all or were frozen, right? That's what happens when you don't scope it down and implement it in stages. And then second, when they put in all 300 sensors, they didn't have enough bandwidth. So if they'd have started with the the most challenging 30 pieces of equipment, they would have avoided all those issues. And in fact, when we were out on the factory floor and we're looking at vibration, and they're looking at sophisticated analyses like Fourier analysis, frequency analysis, decomposition of the data, and I saw one of their electric motors and it was going like this, and it's really not supposed to move. It was going like this, and like, we really need to get a Fourier transform and figure out what that frequency is. So, if you go out and buy technology before you actually go and look and diagnose the problem, you're going to spend 5 times as much and everyone's going to be disappointed. I don't even think it's good for the software vendors as well, or the hardwares, because they really want to establish a long-term relationship with your organization rather than sell you something in a large chunk. So what's key about the course is several case studies and examples of where it went wrong, and it's usually around overinvestment and lack of diagnosis of where to make our first investment. And then second, matching it to a technology that's on some sort of gradient. Like, start with your most pressing problems, which usually take a few simple sensors or control loops. That's phase one. Then start to think about the new platform once you've actually started to see success and you've actually started to see some money being returned to the organization. And nothing builds organizational enthusiasm than results that is actually supported with cash flow and productivity.